Entertaining or not, fitness influencing is hard work. But the way some content creators make their money is up for debate. So what I want to really know is, can these influencers actually be good entrepreneurs? Let's find out. So I'm going to get as many fitness influencer products as I can and give you an honest review on them. Starting with Whantan. I think this was originally started by Kai Shepherd, and I think now Joe Fazer's sort of like an investor in it, because I've literally seen it all over my TikTok and my Instagram. And to be honest, I don't really know how I feel about it. Boys wearing fake tan to me is just a little bit like...
I think it's a bit weird. Big guy. Yeah.
On their website here, they got a picture of a guy, day 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, showing him gradually getting tan. I mean, you can tell some difference, but on the last one, you can tell it's definitely fake tan.
It's like some from the girls there, isn't it?
Their Whantan is currently selling at $19.95, so I suppose I'm gonna have to order it. So there we go, I've ordered it. My total came to $21.94. So yeah, let's give it a go when it comes. Don't know how I feel about this one. Right, so this is where I'm gonna stand in all the pictures, so the lighting's the same, so you can tell if there's actually a gradual tan or not. But yeah, I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but yeah, let's put on the Whantan. So that's exactly what I did. I gave it a little spin to see what I looked like before I applied the Whantan, and then I applied it all to my body and to my face. Got my missus to do my back. I must admit, it does smell very nice though. It smells very nice. And then yeah, we checked in the morning to see what I looked like. Right, so I've just woke up after using the first layer of Whantan. Honestly, so far I can't really see any difference, but I'm gonna hop in the shower and then take a video and see if there's any difference. But it is only day 1, and on the advertisement it says it takes up to 3 days before you get a good tan. So yeah, I mean, let's hop in the shower and then we'll take a look afterwards. So this is one layer on. So honestly, in the mirror I don't see much difference, but obviously it is a gradual tan. So I'm gonna put some more on tonight, and tomorrow we'll see what the second layer looks like. So it's simple really, I just followed the steps, did the same thing, applied Whantan in the evening, went to bed and then washed it off in the morning. What I was saying here on the second day is I noticed that the tan was actually starting to come through, and for me it was a nice little tan. It gave me a bit of colour but didn't make me look like I'd fake tanned, which for me I think was the perfect amount of tanned and was what I was happy with. It's not a point where someone would look at me and go, oh my god, you've used fake tan. For me it was like that perfect bit of colour, bit of glow. But the real question is, can I say the same once I've applied the third layer? So this is what I look like after the third layer. I'll admit it doesn't look that orange, which is good, which I don't really want, but you can tell that I do have some sort of tan. Someone who knows me, they'd be able to tell like, oh, you look tanned or you put fake tan on. But I think that's because I put a third layer on. I think if I just did 2 layers, I think that's the perfect amount to make you look healthy and with a bit of colour, but not too tan to make it look like you've either tanned or you've been on holiday, if that makes sense. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, so let's have a look at the results and compare them side by side to see if there was actually much difference. Right, so let's get into my verdict for Whantan. First things first, before you even buy this, you need to know the price. As I stated earlier, it's about $19.95 plus post and packaging. When it comes to gradual tans, I'll be honest, $19.95 is quite expensive. My girlfriend gave me her Dove tanning moisturizer, and this is only a £5. This only requires 1 layer and it's £5. Whereas this, to even be more noticeable, needs 2 or 3 layers and is £20. So that's quite a price difference. But now on to the main thing you all want to find out, is the actual results. So when we compare day 0 to day 3, at a first glance you don't think there's much difference, but then if you look closely at the mirror, you can see on the shoulder there is actually quite a difference in colour, which to me isn't over the top. It hasn't really got that orange look, so I mean, that's a plus. But this is one thing I liked about Whantan, is that because it's such a slow gradual tan and not like tinted moisturisers, you can choose when to stop applying layers. So if we compare all 4 pictures, if you have a look closely between day 2 and day 3, you can tell there's a slight difference. Day 2 looks a bit more like a natural glow, whereas day 3 you can tell it starts to bring out the orange, and I feel like if you then apply the 4th layer and the 5th layer, that's when we're talking about orange. And personally, I'm not going to test that. So what's my overall opinion on Whantan? Well, personally, I'm not going to continue using it just because I don't like the feeling of getting a fake tan, but I understand why people use it, especially if you go to the gym, you want to be tanned and make it look like you're more toned. But I feel like it would put a lot of people off because it's so stereotypical for girls to fake tan. But I will say this, if it wasn't a thing that boys shouldn't fake tan, I'll be honest, the product's quite good, it smells good, it does make you look better, and it does do the job. It is a gradual tanner and it does work well. So overall, I'm gonna give Whantan an 8 out of 10. It would have been an 8.5 if the price wasn't so high. So I mean, boys, It's a great product and your marketing's been amazing. So yeah, keep it up, and let's move on to the next product, which is Overdrive Pre-Workout by Dave Trains. So I'm sure most of you watching this are quite familiar with it already. I've literally seen advertisements for Overdrive everywhere on my TikTok, on my Instagram, even on my Facebook. So the marketing that Dave's doing is obviously right. He's doing the right things to push it out there to the right sort of people, myself and yourself as gym goers. The real question is it actually good and is it actually worth it? So the pre-workout I normally use is a pre-workout. To be fair, I don't use a lot of pre-workout, and not very often do I use a full scoop because it makes my face really tingly. So I'd be interested to see whether Overdrive does the same thing. So what's in Overdrive? You've got 6 grams of L-citrulline, 3.2 grams of beta-alanine, and 375 milligrams of caffeine. Although the caffeine is split into 2, you've got decaffeine malate, which is 125 milligrams, and caffeine anhydrous, which is 250 milligrams per serving. Whereas Abe has a total of 250 milligrams of caffeine. So we're gonna take a scoop of it and go hit chest in the gym. I did record this earlier, but for some reason I lost the audio. But basically what I was saying in the video here is that it didn't mix very well. There was a lot of white bits in the drink. I did leave it for a few minutes as well and kept mixing it. It didn't mix very well. But when it came to the flavour, I was very surprised. So the flavour I got was Blue Raz, and I can admit I was expecting quite a strong bitter taste, but I was pleasantly surprised. It was actually quite a soft tasting, if that makes sense. It wasn't overpowering, it was quite a subtle taste, which I really liked, and it was quite sour, which I quite enjoyed anyway. There was no weird aftertaste, and yeah, I'll be honest, I enjoyed it. So flavour-wise, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. But let's go to the gym and find out what this pre-workout's all about. So I kicked my chest session off with some incline barbell, 110 kg for 2x2. Technically, this is actually a PB, but before I actually started, I knew I was gonna get this, so I don't know if this was because of the pre-workout or whether I just knew I was feeling stronger anyway. But one thing I did notice that I was really hot and sweaty, and yes, I'm wearing a hoodie, and yes, I wear joggers, but this is what I normally wear, and I do get warm. But this time I was noticeably a lot hotter, and I did end up taking off my hoodie. Another thing with the pre-workout that I did notice is that I didn't get any face tingles, which I'm quite surprised, because in a lot of the reviews I've seen on TikTok about Overdrive, a lot of people talk about the itchy face and feeling like they have ants under their face. And I'll be honest, I didn't have this, which I thought was a bit strange, but to me, technically it's not a bad thing, because I'm not a big fan of having an itchy face. Super quick interruption whilst I'm editing this video. If you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe below, because it doesn't just help me out, it helps the channel out, which means it actually helps you guys out. Because if you like and subscribe, it means the channel gets bigger, it means the videos gets bigger, and it means I can even get bigger and better guests on the channel. So if you're liking the video, make sure to subscribe. And now back to the video.
Alright, so I've just finished my gym session after using Overdrive. Obviously Dave Trains pre-workout, so I'm going to give an honest review on it. I'd say the pump, it gave me about 7 out of 10. Not a crazy pump, but no, not pump at all. I mean, I don't really go off of pumps, to be honest, to determine how my training feels. But yeah, I had a good session, and I'll admit I didn't have a crash at the end. A lot of the time with my protein pre-workout, I get like a crash at the end. I can't be bothered to train, I feel tired. I feel like I've got a lot of energy left and I can still keep going training, which is a good thing. And this is what they say in the advertisement as well. Dave says that you won't get a crash at the end. I'll be honest, I haven't had a crash, so that is good. Now strength, I know he says a lot of the time that you're going to hit a PB if you use the pre. I'll be honest, I did hit a PB, which is good, but it's a PB that I think I knew I would have hit anyway. But I did feel strong, which was nice, so that's always a plus. And price-wise, to be honest, you can get cheaper pre for my protein. Personally, I don't know about you, but I like to help out small brands. I'm not saying it's a small brand, but I'd rather pay for pre-workout from someone like Dave Trains than pay for a pre-workout for my protein. Even if it means I've got to pay £5 more, I'd rather give it to someone who's actually being a solo entrepreneur than give it to a company like My Protein, even though they're cheaper. So overall, Dave, the pre-workout is good, and I'll be honest, it does live up to the hype. I am going to keep using it, of course, but yeah, I'd give overall Overdrive pre-workout a solid 8.5 out of 10 overall. So honestly, I think that's a great score. So now let's move on to the next product, which is
BeastPharm Whey by Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall doesn't need no introduction. If you don't know him, he's the only man to ever deadlift 500 kilos in a competition. He goes by the nickname The Beast. That's why he's made BeastPharm. And I've bought one of his products, the Jammy Biscuit Whey. And to really test the flavour, I bought some Jammy Dodgers. Well, the Lidl version. Let's open it up and see if it's any good. Lid design's pretty cool. Found it finally. First thing, the smell, it just smells like any old protein with a bit of sweetness to it, so no surprise there. To test this protein fairly, I've got it with water and I'll have it with milk, so I can compare if it's actually nice or not. Right, so the first test is the mixability, so I'm going to give these both a shake and see how well they mix. So I've shaken them both up. I'm going to put them down to rest for a minute, and I'm going to tell you about what's inside Eddie Hall's protein. So I'm going to compare this to my protein because that's what I usually use and that's what most people use these days. So the protein whey that I use from my protein has 379 calories per 100 grams, and BeastPharm has 389 calories per 100 grams. So it has 10 calories more. It's not that much of a difference. The sugar content. Per 100 grams, my protein has 5.1 grams of sugar, whereas BeastPharm has 8.3. So that's higher, so that's not good. In the My Protein whey, per 100 grams, there's 72 grams of protein, whereas BeastPharm has only 70 grams of protein, but it is only 2 grams difference. But when it came to the cost, I was actually quite surprised. This BeastPharm cost me £32.39. So that means per 100 grams, this cost me £1.62, whereas my protein costs £1.93, which is actually quite a bit higher when you add up each portion you use. So when it comes to the stats, my protein and BeastPharm are pretty much similar. The only bigger difference is the sugar content and the pricing. BeastPharm comes on top with the pricing, but my protein comes in better with the lower sugar content. Now to take a look at the mixability. Just going to pour some out into the lid and take a look. Seems to have mixed pretty well. I don't see any bits in the bottom. I don't see any bits in the lid. I don't see any bits around the side. So the mixability, solid. Well, not solid, liquid. Now, the most important thing, the taste. I'm going to start with the water and see what it tastes like. Alright, now we'll try the one with the milk. Now we're going to try a Jammy Dodger to compare them to both. First one with the water. I mean, it's kind of obvious when you've got a flavour like this and you're mixing the water, the flavour's not going to be great. Personally, I wasn't a big fan of it. It's quite a bland taste, but of course it is with water, and most people won't have it with water. So with the water, I'm going to give it a 6.5. However, with the milk, it was actually really nice and did taste like a Jammy Dodger. Honestly, with the milk, I really enjoyed it. I'd give it a solid 8.5 out of 10. Initial taste doesn't taste like Jammy Dodger, but once you swallowed it, the aftertaste, you actually get that little hint of Jammy Dodger, which is really nice. However, it still has that typical protein flavour that all proteins have, so I can't really rate it on that because all proteins have that. I mean, all in all, I'm pleasantly surprised. The pricing really surprised me. I thought BeastPharm was a cost a lot more than my protein, but it wasn't. It cost less per serving. It comes in a nice tub instead of those annoying flimsy bags that my protein make. All in all, I'm actually pleasantly surprised about BeastPharm. I haven't tried any of the other flavours, but I'm sure will. But the real question is, will I ever be buying this again, or will I keep buying from my protein? I will definitely be buying from BeastPharm again, just because I want to try their other flavours. It actually works out cheaper than my protein, and the mixability was a lot better, which is a big thing for me because I hate having chunks of protein left in my bottle. But that means we're moving on to the final product, which is Neutonic by James Smith and Chris Williamson. I know some of you can say, oh, James Smith isn't a fitness influencer. Yeah, but he makes content about gym and fitness and all that stuff, so obviously it still counts. Moving on. So what is Neutonic? Neutonic is a productivity drink made by James and Chris, where their primary focus is to help people be more productive. Obviously. And they've stated that it's not an energy drink, even though it has around 125 mils of caffeine in. They say that the drink is backed by science and they've got all these different supplements in it, but I'm not going to go through and explain what they are. You can head to their website and they'll explain everything that's in the drink, why it's in the drink, and how much of it's actually in the drink. The main thing you guys want to know is whether this drink's actually any good. So I'm going to test it in 2 different ways. I'm going to see if it makes me more productive, but I'm also going to take it as a pre-workout because it's got caffeine in it and I'm a fitness content creator, so why not? The advertisement for Neutonic is fantastic. I literally see it everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Every day when I'm scrolling through my feed, I see it there and it's right in your face. And to be fair, the advertisement is great. The design, I really like the eye on the front, all the different colors, and just the feeling of the actual can is really nice. It's not just a smooth feeling, it's got sort of like a texture to it, which is, I suppose, cool. So the flavor I've gone for is tropical ice because out of the ones they had, I thought this would be the nicest. So yeah, when I tried it, honestly, the flavor was beautiful. I would give this flavor a solid 9.5 out of 10. I kind of wish I bought the other flavors because I wish I could have tried them, but I guarantee you they're as good as this one. Now to test whether this drink can actually make me productive. So as it says on the drink, Neutonic is a productivity drink. And right now I need to be productive. I need to edit the video you're watching right now. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drink the drink, probably drink the whole thing, and sit here and see if I can edit the video without getting distracted and see if I'm actually productive. Because a lot of the time when I'm editing, I end up going on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, just scrolling, go back to editing, back to TikTok, back to editing. So I'm just going to sit, drink this, and see if, yeah, it makes me productive. So yeah, let's see if it actually does what it says on the tin.
Right, so I've been sat for about an hour and I've not been on TikTok or Instagram once. I've literally just been focused on CapCut, which is great because I normally can't do that. So I'm not going to say it's because of the drink, or it might just be locked in because I want to get this video sorted. But I mean, I haven't been distracted, so that's a plus. Right, so I'm about to go to the gym. I'm going to use Neutonic as a pre-workout. I don't know if that's what it's meant for. I don't think it is. But we're going to take it anyway because it's got caffeine in it. And I'll let you know after the session how I feel, whether there's a good pump, whether I had energy, whether I had a crash or not. So yeah, see you afterwards.
3 days later.
So, the results for Neutonic. First things first, being that it's a productivity drink, I'm going to tell you whether it actually made me more productive or not. So, I drank the drink whilst I needed to edit this current video that you're watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. And I got my head down and I got to work. I probably sat at my sofa for about an hour and not once did I defer go on Instagram or TikTok. I don't know whether that's because I really wanted to get the video out or something in my head just made me switch and just not get distracted. And then as a pre-workout, I did take it before the gym. It has 125 milligrams of caffeine in, so I did feel energetic at the gym. I can't say I had a crazy pump or anything like that, but it's not really for the gym. I just felt like I had a bit of energy at the gym, but I mean, it's not a pre-workout. All in all, I really like Neutonic. To be fair, it looks like they've spent a lot of time on this, they've done a lot of research, and they really believe in the product. And personally, I think it's a great product, and the reviews I've seen have been really positive for it. But all in all, it is a great product. I'm gonna make sure I finish all the 12 of these that I have, because it tastes amazing and it did make me more productive. But overall, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. The only thing that would make this a 10 probably is if it also worked as a pre-workout. But to be honest, that's not the reason for it, because imagine they mixed it to make it like a pre-workout. People that's trying to do their work are going to be itching and buzzing and getting all hot and sweaty. So I mean, for the reason of it being productivity drink, solid. So yeah, that's it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.